In late 2025, going into this year, 2026, I feel like the animal attack horror movie is making a major comeback. So let's talk about it. Welcome back, ghouls and gals. Hope you're doing well. I feel like we've seen so many movies pop up between Primate, between Beast of War, between so many of these movies that just make me feel that the animal attack horror movie is back in full swing. So I have a list today of horror movies that were released in late 2025 and going into ones this year that haven't even been released yet that are animal attack horror movies that you can put on your radar. I also have 5 classic animal attack horror movies to talk about at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. So if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give this a thumbs up, subscribe for more, check out all of my links down below if you would like to see any more of me or support the channel any further. I will also be sure to include a letterboxd list corresponding to all of the animal attack horror movies I have talked about on the channel already. I believe I already have one started. So let's break this down section by section. Let's start off with sharks. Beginning with the one that I've already mentioned, Beast of War. From 2025, when their boat sinks while crossing the Timor Sea during World War II, a troop of young Australian soldiers must find a way to survive the harsh seas on a quickly sinking raft. Hundreds of miles away, they must confront interpersonal conflict, enemy attacks, and the advances of one very large, hungry, great white shark. Now this one comes from director Kaya Roche Turner, who did Sting a little while ago in the Spider film. I really enjoyed that one. It wasn't that serious, but at the same time it was, and it felt like a mixture of kind of a grounded film with a more fantastical element, I guess, with the spider, and that's how this one feels too, because this is actually based on a true story. I highly recommend you check it out, but it also feels at the same time kind of mystical and not all the way real, even though this is it didn't exactly, men just got trapped in shark infested waters, okay? There is more to the story, but like at the end of the day, there was men who were in World War II who ended up in shark-infested water, and that's what this movie is about. So next up, we're talking about The Shallows, not to be confused with The Shallows. From 2025 as well, a scientist passionate about extreme sports faces off against a ruthless predator at the top of the ocean's food chain in a life and death game. Now, this is actually a Chinese shark film, and I'm really excited because this is somewhat a loose remake of the Blake Lively Shallows. So if you're into that, strap in for this one. Now, you guys know that I have stated multiple times, Rennie Harlan, if I catch you in the street, you know, kaboom, kablow, whatever the song going viral on TikTok right now is. Anyways, I feel like Rennie Harlan just doesn't understand the concept of making a good movie. Deep Blue Sea, wonderful. But he's back this year coming up, 2026, with a film called Deep Water. Have we not got enough movies, shark-related movies called Deep Whatever, but also have we not had enough deep water movies? Anyways, a group of international passengers on a flight from LA to Shanghai are forced to make an emergency landing in shark-infested waters. The terrified group is forced to come together to overcome their differences if they hope to escape the sinking plane and the frenzy of sharks drawn to the wreckage. Rennie Harlan loves these movies where people just have to figure their way out of like a bad situation. He loves to like put mine hunters, like he loves to put people in rooms and say like figure it out. I just don't have high hopes for this at all. The Strangers trilogy being released so quickly after one another, I skipped part 2, probably will not be watching part 3. I feel like this man just does not understand the concept of like a good movie. But anyways, let's talk about a movie that is to be announced. This movie does not have much information about it at all, but it is called Shiver, coming out this year, 2026. All of that we really know is that it will center around a shark attack. That's it. Okay, let's go from sharks into more water-related horror, starting off with Killer Whale. from 2026 as well follows best friends Maddie and Trish as they find themselves trapped in a remote lagoon with a dangerous killer whale. I don't have high hopes for this one at all. It does not. I believe there's already a trailer out. I really don't have high hopes for that. But one that I actually am looking forward to watching is Kraken. From 2026, a marine biologist is doing research on a fish farm when she encounters several strange occurrences. Along with the brutal deaths of 2 teenagers, all signs point to the deep fjord. Can there be any more to the depths than the eye can see? I think that this one is going to be fun because it's not like obviously a kraken, like release the kraken, be real. Okay, like it's not a real situation. So I feel like while I do kind of put it in like an animal creature attack film, I do think it's going to be far more fantastical than we could ever imagine. Okay, let's move into reptiles. Of course, I have to talk about the Anaconda remake. My mom and dad are so excited about this one. Now, this was released in 2025. A group of friends facing midlife crisis head to the rainforest with the intention of remaking their favorite movie from their youth, only to find themselves in a fight for their lives against natural disasters, giant snakes, and violent criminals. I'll pretty much watch anything Jack Black and Paul Rudd are in, so you got me there, and I think this is gonna be a stupid fun time. But another movie I'm actually excited about, Titan. The release date is still to be TBD for this one. It's not, like, it doesn't have a concrete release date, but it should be coming out this year. A team of doctors embark on a mission in the Amazon rainforest, but as it soon becomes clear, not everybody or everything is happy to see them. Their sudden appearance draws the attention of an animal predator, the boyuna. Now, what actually makes me want to watch this one is it has Jessica Roth from the Happy Death Day movies and also Logan Marshall Green, or Tom Hardy Light, I like to call him. I think they're going to be really good together in this movie. And of course, we have to talk about our primate friends, starting off with Primate, that's already been released. From 2025, home from college, Lucy reunites with family, including pet chimp Ben. Ben contracts rabies during a pool party and turns aggressive. Lucy and friends barricade in a pool, devising ways to survive the vicious chimp. I've surprisingly heard good things about this one. Being a January drop, I am shocked. But also, we're getting Grizzly Night this year. On August 12th, 1967, in Montana's Glacier National Park, the unthinkable happened. On the same night, 9 miles apart, there were not 1, but 2 grizzly bear attacks. One of my first ever videos on this channel was a review for Backcountry, so I kind of have a soft spot for bear attack movies, just because it was one of the first movies I ever reviewed here. So I guess I'm looking forward to this one. And then finally, to round off this list, releasing Christmas Day 2026 this year, Werewolf, directed by Robert Eggers. Set in 13th century England, the story focuses on local villagers who are stalked by a mysterious creature. As the attacks continue, ancient folklore and superstition blend into a terrifying reality. Now, if you've watched Nosferatu, this has almost the exact same cast. I'm kind of looking forward to it. It feels like they'll already have this built-in chemistry moved from one movie to another, and I think that's fantastic. Okay, so to wrap up this list, let's talk about 5 animal attack horror movies that maybe you haven't seen that you should put on your radar. Starting off with The Edge from 1997, a billionaire and 2 other men struggle to band together and survive after getting stranded in the Alaskan wilderness with a bloodthirsty Kodiak bear hunting them down. Now, we don't get many crocodile films, so let's talk about The Pool from 2018. Left alone to clean up a 6-meter deep, deserted pool, Day falls asleep on an inflatable raft, and when he wakes up, the water levels have sunk so low that he cannot climb out on his own. Stuck in the pool, Day screams for help, but the only thing that hears him is a crocodile from a nearby farm. Okay, let's move into Roar from 1981. Follows a family who are attacked by various African animals at the secluded home of their keeper. Now, up next, you may have to suspend your disbelief a little bit for Chosen Survivors. From 1974, a group of diverse individuals are suddenly taken from their homes and flown via helicopter to a futuristic bomb shelter in the desert, nearly 2 miles below the surface of the earth, but they are faced with a threat nobody could have predicted. A colony of bloodthirsty vampire bats finds its way into the shelter and launches a series of vicious attacks where they claim the humans one by one. And then finally, let's finish off this list with Razorback from 1984. In the Australian outback, a vicious wild boar kills and causes havoc on a small community. So there we have it, a whole list of animal attack horror movies, some that have come out, some that are coming out, and some older ones that you definitely can already watch. I hope you put something new on your radar today. This year, we are doing anti-Valentine's Day. So thanks for watching. I will see you in my next video. Sayonara, Spooky fam.